I saw this today. It showed up. It said the young male virginity on the rise. Share of men under 30 who report 0 female sex partners since they turned 18. Look at this chart, boss. This is 2018. This is before we even got to the pandemic. For those of you who are just listening, the chart we're looking at shows from 1989 to 2008, it would go anywhere from like 6 to 15, basically up and down, right? And ebb and flow. And then in 2008, it was at 8%. And then between 2008 and 2018, in one decade, it shot basically straight up to 27%. And with no dip, just straight rise. Now, there are a number of issues that on the outset that you can say, yes, the rise of social media, the rise of online chats, Discord, the rise of freely available, pornography. Okay, there's many like symptomatic things that you could say this has something to do with it. But I think there are some other factors too. I think there has been reboosting of like religiousness. I think some of these younger people are being indoctrinated against sexual relationships. I think there's been a slight boost in the evangelical Christianity, and they're sort of like infecting the young people. A generation of older people being very sternly evangelically Christian in response to what is perceived as a crazy demonic world. I think that plays a part. But also, guys, we cannot underestimate the power of the gaming Manosphere section, where not only do you have gaming and young men gathering in groups and headsets into this toxic environment, but we have had a decade of influencers monetizing those guys. Manosphere influencers trying to sell misogyny and this fake power system to young men in headsets, and young men kind of buying in. And in fact, what's happened is it's not like young men can't have sex with women. It's that when you're trained to hate women, women don't really want to hang around you. If you're a dude who is trained to like think women are, trashy, they're only sex objects, they lie all the time, etc. Insert Manosphere trope right there. The women aren't going to want to spend time with you, man. They just don't want to hang. And what I think, guys, what I think is most important about this chart is not even what's on the chart. And this speaks to what Adam Mockler has been talking about, is the rise of men no longer being intimate, the rise of these gamer boys finding these influencers like Asmongold and Myron Gaines and Andrew Tate and these shitheads that all started to really blow up. A lot of these guys, Rogan, right? I think it started with Rogan, and then eventually, when we get to 2018, then we're getting into the Andrew Tate shit. When Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes and the Andrew Tates and the Sneakos started exploding. You had a bunch of young men that are no longer hanging out with women. They're isolated, they're angry, and then a whole bunch of influencers come in and pile on this, and it started the red pilling that we're now dealing with, where now Nick Fuentes is a mainstream figure. Isn't that funny how that works? Dude, Nick Fuentes is a mainstream figure, boss. Jesus H. Christ. Now, I'm going to say this. I think Nick Fuentes and the Groypers are probably doing us a favor. I know it sounds crazy, but I think the mainstreaming of people like Nick Fuentes, I think as these guys get mainstreamed, these guys are going to create the pushback. They are. They will create the pushback, okay? Like groypering young men en masse. I mean, look at our most recent election, guys. 81% of young women voted for Mamdani. 80% of young women voted for Cheryl. 78% of young women voted for 𝗡𝗡𝗏𝗏. These young women are going to college, they're getting degrees, they are becoming feminists. And what else do you notice about this, guys? Look who they're voting for, guys. You see who they're voting for? They're voting for women. Look at how many women are governors now. Cheryl, 𝗡𝗡𝗏𝗏, Hochul, Big Gretch. They're voting for themselves. Women are winning these elections and winning these positions of power in extraordinary rates. AOC, Greta Thunberg, like some of the greatest political and thought leaders right now. It's women, guys. It's women. Okay, that's a big change in America. Now, what's crazy about this, guys, is this response here of the Defiant Baptist. He says, eventually you'll agree with us. It's time to repeal the 19th Amendment, and it may be sooner rather than later. Now, this guy's not alone, though. You remember Dale Partridge, the crack-sucking leggings guy? This guy got ratioed so bad. This guy is cringe. But look at what he's up to, guys. It says, repeal the 19th Amendment and restore the household vote. Dude, why do they always look like this? Right? Why is it everybody who says, like, repeal the 19th Amendment looks like they haven't left a basement and they've been jerking off to Cosmopolitan magazine for, like, you know, a year straight? Dude, they always look like that. Like, look at this guy, bro. Holy shit, dude. This guy takes shots of Metamucil, bro, right? Before he, like, you know? But watch this video, dude. This video is wild.
Is it good that women can vote in America? I don't think so, and here's why. Nearly every legalized moral atrocity of the last 100 years was made possible by the female vote. Abortion and homosexuality would likely still be illegal if not for the female vote. Mass immigration in the welfare state rode on the backs of the female vote. Nearly every modern Democrat, including Obama and Biden, were elected because of the female vote. Even last night, the new Muslim New York City mayor, Mamdani, won specifically because of the female vote. The 19th Amendment has been a moral and political tragedy for America, but why? Women were not made to lead, but to follow and to feel. This is God's design, and it's good within the family and the household. But emotions cannot be what is used to rule and govern a nation. Statistically and generally speaking, women vote for whatever feels most kind or peaceful or safe to their emotions. Women crave security and comfort, and whoever promises those things wins their loyalty.
Dude, you know what's so funny is like the level of emotional appeal in this video is like off the charts, right? He's like, we're so endangered by women voting, all the atrocities. Oh, that really bad abortion and homosexuality was women, and that black president was women, and it's all because the women are so emotional. I'm so scared if we keep letting the women vote. I'm going to, like, oh my God, I'm going to smash my pee-pee with a hammer. Dude, right? Now, I would like to add that this guy voted for Donald Trump. This guy voted for a guy who said he grabs women by the pussy. So I don't know if Dale Partridge here, if that means if Donald Trump came to his house and just grabbed his woman's junk, if Dale Partridge would be cool with that, because he voted for that. Okay, he voted for an adjudicated rapist, the best friend of the biggest pedophile and child sex trafficker in modern history, right? He voted for that guy. So you got to ask yourself, Dale, were you exploited? Like, why would you vote for a pussy-grabbing Epstein bestie to be your leader? How can you defend that and say that that was a good choice? I mean, dude, Donald Trump would roll in and grab his wife right in the crack-sucking leggings, boss. Now, granted, this guy is rage baiting. There's no doubt. But these guys believe this shit. Their craziness and their like level of hubris they're experiencing because of Donald Trump and these Manosphere guys, they are definitely making it so people are saying this shit out loud. I mean, they're so crazily emboldened, they think that people are listening to them. These guys right here, this is who Nick Fuentes targets. This is who Andrew Tate targets. And it's really deceitful too, because a lot of these guys, like Andrew Tate, tells them like, you need to stop watching pornography. And most of these guys can't stop watching pornography. They're hooked. So every time they watch it, they feel like a little bit ashamed, and they're stuck in this cycle of feeling bad for having watched pornography, feeling like it's destructive for them. But the way out is Andrew Tate. The way out is 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶𝗏. The way out are these male influencers who say, hey man, if you get like us, you're going to be free of this whole thing. But the reality is they're probably watching it a whole bunch too. They're just lying and taking your fucking money. Like, let's be fucking real. Look at him, dude. How? There's no way this guy is straight, boss. Look at him, dude. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? Dude, look at him. Dude, no way, bro. Dude, he sits like a power bottom, he does, dude. Dude, the way he sits. What are we even looking at, bro? Oh my God, dude. So now we're in this backlash, guys. Okay. And again, I feel like this decade is what got us to right now. Okay. There have been some things that quietly took place in this decade. There was like Gamergate. There was the rise of social media, right? There was Trump and the backlash with that old pussy-grabbing, locker room talk, boys will be boys mentality. Behind the scenes, you had Charlie Kirk now going out there trying to pollute the minds of college students, okay? You had Me Too, which was then weaponized by all these guys. The Me Too movement was about women finally standing up and speaking out and there being accountability for male behavior. But then all of these guys and the Manosphere dudes were like, whoa, now you just being a guy, they're going to try to put you in jail. Like now the women are the enemy, bro. Look, oh shit. If you try to kiss her, she's going to charge you with SA. I mean, there was a lot of fear mongering that those guys did around the Me Too movement. And especially the tiniest loss of privilege starts feeling like they're being oppressed. But now, inevitably, guys, we're paying the piper. Because what has happened? We let this shit go. People sounded the alarm at Andrew Tate. Nobody listened. People sounded the alarm at Donald Trump. And we thought we defeated him with Joe Biden. But again, in this next election, nobody listened. People sounded the alarm at Charlie Kirk, right? They sounded the alarm when Charlie Kirk got murdered. Nobody's listening. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody's just like, let's do the clickbait. Let's lean into reality TV culture. Let's make as much as we can, as fast as we can. Let's be as outrageous as we can. Let's say anything you want to get that notoriety, right? Take power, get money, get rich, get powerful, be like the Tate. But now they're paying the piper, though, because now Nick Fuentes is like a new baseline, okay? Nick Fuentes is now somebody that the 8-year-olds of tomorrow are going to be seeing on TikTok, and they're going to be going, huh, he kind of makes a little bit of sense, right? Benny Johnson is now making political videos for your 8-year-old boys, okay? They're like, now the piper's going to be paid, because now we are going to deal with the generation of young people that are going to buy into this before woke 2.0. And it might get a little bit ugly, boss. I think this is a great exchange here, guys.
He targeted his anger was to have him on his podcast.
Wait, so he was so enraged, he decided to have a friendly interview with Nick Fuentes. The problem, listen, the problem is not that he held the interview, it's that he normalized this type of ideology. I think the Republican Party is for the first time being forced to face the monster that they've created in Nick Fuentes. Throughout my entire youth, I've watched Donald Trump normalize, not Nick Fuentes' rhetoric, but a type of extremist rhetoric that the U.S. has never seen before. Now, that is manifesting in the GOP, or at least Tucker Carlson and big wings of the GOP, welcoming in. Tucker Carlson is welcoming in somebody who believes the Holocaust didn't happen, or he thinks if it did happen, it was a good thing. He thinks that black people deserve less rights, women deserve less rights.
You can't say that about Donald Trump.
The Republicans do
about
not.
Jewish people with Donald Trump.
That's how I'm saying.
He wore a yarmulke at his daughter's wedding.
The way that Donald Trump speaks about the Democratic Party, the way that Donald Trump speaks about people who disagree with him, has normalized this extremist rhetoric. He said that we were gnats who need to be taken care of in front of the military. But the point is, a lot of young people are being sucked into this Nick Fuentes pipeline. I don't think the Republican Party, the old guard, is ready for what's about to smack them in the face with this new guard.
I think what 𝗙𝗫𝗄𝗧 points out that's really interesting is how the piper's about to be paid. Because if you look at, even look at Charlie Kirk, the arc of TPUSA, Donald Trump's people paid Charlie Kirk millions of dollars, to convert young men to Christianity, right? That's what they wanted to do. Convert them to Christianity. Like our buddy Dale Partridge, the repeal the 19th guy. They want everybody to be Christian. They want everybody to be evangelical, to be born again. However, in the process of converting these guys to Christianity, these lonely, out of place, angry, resentful guys are getting converted to this evangelical Christianity. Then they're being monetized by Andrew Tate and Logan and Jake Paul and Dana White and Donald Trump and all the Manosphere guys. And eventually they find their way to Nick Fuentes and the Groypers get their hooks in them. But now, guys, the rest of the Republican Party, that's their fucking party, okay? These guys had a party with Mitt Romney and they woke up and everybody in the party is 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗆, right? Everybody in the party is Nick Fuentes. You know what I mean? They go to bed one night and the party's Mitt Romney and John McCain and they wake up and it's fucking 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹 and Andrew Tate. And you're like, holy fucking shit, bro. All of a sudden now, what party am I in, right? You know what I mean? That's what is about to happen to them. They are literally going to wake up to where their entire political party is this ginormous, anti-Semitic, Islamophobic, woman-hating, like pack of resentful celibate men. Dude, they're so fucked, bro. They are so fucked. That is the punchline, guys. That is the punchline of this is they have created Frankenstein's monster. And now Frankenstein's monster is going to dismantle everything they built. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.